Happy Halloween! As you may have heard here or elsewhere on the internet, I fucking love this holiday. I was tagged by Kirsty to do Anime Fox's Spooky Scary Skeletag. What's your favorite horror movie? Probably Scream. I don't know if Rocky Horror Picture Show actually counts. I don't think it does because I think it's just too solidly in like the camp category, but if it does count, then that for sure is my favorite. But barring that, my favorite movie is Scream. I actually mentioned in a Segway Magic video that it was my favorite movie when I was about 9 or 10 years old. I am now a much bigger baby about scary movies than I was when I was younger, but because I saw this one so much, I can handle it. Honorable mention is Cabin in the Woods. If you were in a horror movie, how far do you think you would get? I took a BuzzFeed quiz not that long ago that insisted that I was totally gonna survive until the end of the movie, but that's definitely not true. I'm in okay shape, I'm reasonably intelligent, and I'm actually pretty good in crisis situations. I'm much better at thinking on my toes than at long-term planning, but I feel like I would probably be like the last kill. I feel like I would get pretty far in the movie, but just shy of actually surviving to the end, which is really the worst place that you can be in because that means that you just suffer the most, but you still die. Favorite scary video game? Favorite scary story? First of all, this is what's going on right now. Girl is babysitting and she gets a call telling her to check on the children and she doesn't do it and she keeps getting this call and finally she calls the cops and the cops trace the call the next time that it comes in and they tell her that it's coming from inside the house. I gotta tell the story fast because of time. I heard that story when I was really young, long before I actually saw it as a movie. I still vividly remember my brother telling me this story. So that story will always have a very special place in my heart on the list of things that terrify me. What's one unusual thing that you're afraid of? I'm gonna have to steal, I think it was Anna's answer to this question, and that is mirrors in the dark. But actually this is not unusual because mirrors in the dark are terrifying. They're terrifying, okay? Something like this might pop out at you. Now I'm mixing up stories here, but that's not the point. The point is that mirrors in the dark are scary, and I know. What's your first memory of Halloween? I think the first Halloween that I really remember was first grade. I wore this purple princess costume that had been a hand-me-down from my older cousin, and it had seen better days, but I was obsessed with it because it was shiny and it had belonged to my beloved big cousin, so I wore it. What's your favorite Halloween memory? The Halloween right after I graduated from college, I went back to DC and that entire trip was just the best. I got to be an actual audience member for Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time, and because I wasn't actually in the show like the previous 3 years, I also got to like go out to bars and like go to my friend's Halloween party and just do all of this other fun college-y Halloween stuff. Also, there was this whole Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart rally thing happening on the mall that weekend, which was awesome. All around A+ Halloween, 10 out of 10, would recommend, would repeat. Best Halloween costume you've had? I'm pretty partial to my gold digger costume. I actually went out and got another plastic shovel for this purpose because I have no idea what happened to the one that I bought before. I probably left it in Paris. I hope I left it in Paris because that would be a stupid thing to bring home. As much as I love this costume, I think it's actually number 3 on my list, beaten out by the year that I was riffraff in Rocky Horror Picture Show at number 2, and my absolute favorite was the year that I was a spooky tree. This costume is fucking ridiculous. I know. I just love this costume because I had been princesses in all the years prior, and this was the first time that I really was like, oh my god, I can be anything? It's just such a fun, crazy, ridiculous holiday, and the spooky tree costume is kind of the heart and soul of why I love it so much, so that. Worst Halloween costume you've had? Definitely the year that I went as a slutty nurse. It was my freshman year of college and I hadn't really made any Halloween plans with my friends, and this girl that worked on this campaign staff with me but went to a different DC university invited me to go out with her and her friends. They were very work hard, play hard type people, and we went clubbing, which is totally not my jam. It was all very ridiculous and a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I did it because it's a very particular sort of Halloween experience that other people have, and I get to say that I had it, but also I get to not ever do it again. Lightning round, which is scarier, werewolves or vampires? Definitely vampires, because it'll be many years before I stop nursing the deep psychic wounds I endured while blogging Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the SNARK squad. Ghosts or zombies? Zombies definitely seem to present the more certain threat. The number of variables with ghosts make them slightly scarier just because of the element of the unknown. Creepy dolls or creepy clowns? Definitely creepy dolls. Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, or Leatherface? Freddy Krueger, because sleep is meant to be a beautiful thing and he ruins it. He ruins sleep. Why would you do that? Why would you ruin sleep? Worst. And with that, I tag Spearhantized, Nenalized, and Fampants. Halloween's in a couple days, so maybe you won't get to it, but even if you don't get to it before Halloween, you should just keep the Halloween going. Keep it Halloween always. Halloween forever.
Got him. Got him. Nailed it.
Communities, both online and off.